Deer hunting in West Virginia brings more than $750 million to the state, but it's more than just an economic boost. I'm Kendall Lewis, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how this sport is a deeply rooted tradition.
I'm Megan Guerra, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll give you an inside look at a mine training facility right here in Mon County, where people learn proper mining techniques and safety.
I'm Leanne Schinkel, and coming up next, I'll tell you how one West Virginia corporation is changing the lives of those with a checkered past. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
The culture, the history, the people of Appalachia. Who and what is making a positive impact in the heart of Trump country? I'm Kendall Lewis.
And I'm Patrick Clark. In this special edition of WVU News, we'll examine issues uplifting our state.
From a multi-billion-dollar deal to a company who truly believes in second chances and an industry getting a boost from a famous song.
These stories and more on this edition of WVU News, Inside Appalachia, a story of hope.
West Virginia's shale, gas, and chemical manufacturing industries are looking at an $84 billion upsurge that will take effect over the next 20 years.
That's right, Kendall. It's part of a $250 billion deal between China and the U.S., and for residents, it means thousands of new jobs. I went out to learn what else this deal might bring to the Mountain State.
And thank you for that.
China Energy Investment Corporation, the world's largest power company, has signed an agreement to invest $83.7 billion in shale gas, power, and chemical projects in West Virginia. But what does this mean for the state's economy?
They are going to invest money in three different sectors of the economy. One would be the creation of the natural gas storage hub for natural gas liquids. The second one would be the investing in gas-fired power plants, at least 2 of those, and the third would be investing in the petrochemical industry.
The gas and power agreement marks the first overseas investment for newly founded China Energy and comes with many positive effects in the state.
I think anything to stimulate the economy is good. I certainly would hope they would put the right restrictions on it to where it wouldn't destroy the environment. With it being an outside entity, you know, China, they might not be so careful with the environment as, you know, someone who lives here would be.
The American Chemistry Council estimated a $36 billion investment would bring over 100,000 jobs to West Virginia, with 70,000 directly in the investment and about 30,000 to help supply it. However, with an $84 billion deal, this would double the amount of jobs in West Virginia. The investment would extend over a 20-year period, covering projects for power generation to chemical manufacturing and the underground storage of natural gas. Not only will West Virginia profit from this deal, but the Appalachian region will see many benefits as well. There's no word on when construction will start. But West Virginia Secretary of Commerce Wood Thrasher expects work to begin around this time next year. What if your past puts you at a disadvantage? Around 100 million Americans have a criminal history, but after they've paid their debt to society, many find the struggle continues. But reporter Leanne Schinkel found one West Virginia company that's giving these workers a second chance. She joins us now in the studio with more. Leanne?
Thanks, Kendall. Surveys show that 92% of employers run criminal background checks on prospective hires. Title VII prevents discrimination but does not prohibit employers from conducting background checks before an offer of employment is made. But a local company is looking past convictions. According to the Office of Research and Strategic Planning, West Virginia has the second fastest growing prison population, a population that will one day need to seek out employment. But the Ziegenfelder Ice Pop Factory believes that just because you're out of trouble does not mean you should be out of work. The Ziegenfelder Ice Pop Factory has been an institution in Wheeling, West Virginia since 1861. About a year ago, they started compassionate hiring. Instead of rejecting applicants with criminal or drug histories, Ziegenfelder focuses on their commitment and work ethic.
What we have done is come together and figure out how can we be a solution to it versus continue to be the problem or foster the problem. So as part of that solution, we had decided to take a look at our practices and how we hire and how we make decisions.
Ziegenfelder employee Tanner Deffelbog says working here has been key to turning his life around.
Places that I worked before, if they knew that you had a past like mine, they wouldn't even let you work for them, let alone advance and move into supervisor roles, leadership roles, things like that.
About 20% of workers here at the Ziegenfelder Corporation have a drug or criminal background. Hiring these employees can be just the second chance they need to get their lives back on track.
It makes it easier to do the right things when you're working and you have a steady job and you have a purpose. Because if you're just waning in the wind and you can't get a job and you're just going to say, well, the heck with it, I might as well just do what I was doing.
According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 39% of convicted felons maintain employment following their release in a good economy. On the other hand, 2/3 find themselves back behind bars within 5 years. Experts say a criminal record can decrease a person's chance of receiving a job offer by almost 50%. The good news is that some states now have laws that forbid disqualifying candidates based on solely their criminal record. But as of now, West Virginia is not among those states.
Thanks, Leanne, for that report. Uncertainty in the job market is a major concern no matter your past, but being a coal miner in America is still a lucrative career, with an average salary of $60,000 compared to the average wage of workers in the United States at around $44,000 a year. And where do many of these miners receive top-notch training? Megan Guerra joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Megan?
Mention Sago or Upper Big Branch Mine to any West Virginia coal miner and they'll tell you how the industry and the role of mine rescue teams has changed since both of those disasters. And that's where West Virginia University's Academy for Mine Training and Energy Technologies comes in. Their facility is one of 2 in the state that offers live fire training in an underground atmosphere. And with more than 50,000 coal mines scattered across the nation, this is where many coal miners go to receive their mine safety training. For generations, coal mining has been a tradition in the Mountain State. Today, mining is still a family tradition for some people, like Harry Lilly.
I started to work in the coal mines in 1973. And my brother, my nephew, my son were all miners.
And despite the potential dangers of mining, those who train at WVU's mine training facility learn proper techniques and safety while working in the mines. Right here behind me is a simulated mine where students here experience certain situations that they could encounter in a real-life mine.
We use real fire hose, real fires, and we let the students get engaged. So I don't know if it's exactly fun, but for sure they gain a great deal of experience.
This training facility attracts miners from all over the state, America, and even outside the country.
For people to come from across the country or other countries here, it speaks volumes about how important it is.
And the future of mining, Brady says,
downright the most reliable, cost-effective energy source in coal. Mining's going to be around for a long time.
To learn more about WVU's Mine Extension program and to see their accomplishments, visit their website at the bottom of your screen. The Academy has hosted both skills competitions and mine emergency response drills for coal mines. The facility has trained miners from 11 states and several foreign countries. Back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Megan. Coal has been a cornerstone of West Virginia's commerce for decades, but our next story takes a look at a tradition that is also a reliable economic stimulus and has roots deeper than any mine.
According to the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources, more than 350,000 hunters will head to the woods this season. It's a practice that has brought an estimated $270 million to the state.
Kylie Rice joins us now from Social Square to tell us more. Kylie?
West Virginia boasts over 24,000 square miles of hills and valleys, making conditions ideal for a sport steeped in tradition and culture. The skills that go along with hunting and prepping the deer are passed down over generations, and as our very own Kendall Lewis found out, these customs unite locals in a common heritage.
Whether it be relaxation, to put food on the table, or for the excitement of the chase, more than 300,000 hunters hit the woods each fall in West Virginia. And Greg Malinsky and his son Carl both agree that the main reason they hunt is simply for the peace of mind.
In my heart, when I go out in the woods, I don't care if I don't see a Tweety bird. I come out with the same smile that I went in with.
Rifle season is a common favorite when it comes to deer hunting. One of the most popular rifles for deer hunting is this 30-06. This specific gun can accurately hit a target up to 200 yards. And it's great for shooting through thick brush as well as an open field. After the kill is just as much of a tradition as before the kill. Preparing and cooking the deer meat over an open fire is a tradition Mike Costello has carried on for years and plans to keep his tradition going.
We have this responsibility to make sure that the future generation carries the torch into the future and that they're passing on not just the tradition of living off the landscape, but the stewardship of the landscape as well.
Mike Costello has a true passion for hunting from in the woods all the way to the dinner table, and he believes his passion started with his love for the land.
Without kind of a sense of place and a strong connection to the landscape and a sense of pride that I've sort of experienced my whole life and have been lucky to share with all my fellow West Virginians, this would mean nothing.
Hunting started as a way of survival in West Virginia and has since developed into a passion, a tradition, and a way of life. Kendall Lewis, WVU News, Morgantown.
Here in West Virginia, hunting has created more than 5,000 jobs, and the millions of dollars generated every year circulates in rural areas. Venison is also a mainstay for many families. When deer season is over, the winter meat is processed and packed away in the freezer to enjoy all year long.
Thanks, Kylie. Many who seek refuge often turn to the outdoors. Here in West Virginia, we are blessed with an abundance of natural beauty, and one organization is harnessing nature and animals for a good cause.
This year, more children will be diagnosed with autism than AIDS, diabetes, and cancer combined. On Eagle's Wings is an organization that specializes in helping people with disabilities through equine therapy. Reporter Janae Avery has more.
This is Redo. She is one of the 10 horses who participates in the On Eagle's Wings program, a non-profit organization that uses equitherapy to help people with disabilities. Instructor Erica White has dedicated 3 years to this organization and has seen many people benefit from the therapy.
We've had riders say their first words because it inspired them so much because they love animals.
Robert was diagnosed with autism at a young age, but he has only been in the program for a few months. His Aunt Amy says he's already made significant progress.
It's just amazing to see him and how he just reacts with the horses and how they react with him, and he just gets so much out of it, you know. And then he talks about it all week till we come back again.
Experts say horses are a mirror to the soul, and that touching a horse, grooming a horse, and even walking a horse can be emotional therapy. Experts go on to say that the benefits of equitherapy are indisputable. The program offers both hippotherapy and therapeutic riding once a week for 30 minutes. Riders are able to work on their motor skills, build confidence, and learn to communicate with others.
This is what I do for a reason, and I think that's icing on the cake, is when you connect with a rider and you get to see them grow.
Since 2007, On Eagle's Wings has made an impact in the lives of 54 people with a wide variety of disabilities. Janae Avery, WVU News, Morgantown.
Seeing one program have such an impact on so many lives is truly inspiring.
I agree, Kendall. Well, after the break, sports reporter Ryan Decker tells us about one WVU athlete's transition from the turf to the court.
And we'll discuss how the official theme song of WVU, Country Roads, is now a part of Mountain State tradition in a whole new way.
I'm Ryan Decker. Coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you about a WVU basketball player that made a name for himself on the high school football field.
I'm Elizabeth Haynes, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how a famous song is coming back home to West Virginia.
For me, it all started with a question. Why? It drove me to look deeper, try harder, think bigger. No way? Yes way. I took that question to a place where the possibilities are endless. It all started with a little question, a little why, and a little why not.
Welcome back to our special edition of WVU News, Inside Appalachia, a story of hope.
Every athlete at West Virginia University has come a long way to prove their talent in their sport. but many found themselves in more than one form of competition along the way.
Sports anchor Ryan Decker joins us now to discuss a WVU player who found a passion for 2 major sports in high school. Ryan?
Thanks, Patrick. Growing up in the town of Cameron, West Virginia, Logan Rout was easy to spot. He stood a head taller than most of his neighbors, but also hovered above the competition, then as a quarterback and now as center for the Mountaineer men's basketball team. Rout is now a redshirt sophomore, and although he stands at 6'11", the only way to go is up. While the jersey and the stakes have changed, his dedication to his home state and the spirit of competition have not.
This is the jersey that Logan Rout wears now. This is the jersey he used to wear in the field he used to play on. A 3-sport athlete at Cameron High School, basketball is what he would eventually go to college for, but the football field is where he received national attention.
My town knew about me, local towns knew about me, and then like 2 days later, basically the whole world knew about me, so it was pretty crazy.
Publications such as Max Preps, ESPN, and others all picked up on the small-town quarterback that was towering over his competition. At 6 feet 11 inches tall, Rout stood a foot taller than his own offensive line.
My first year, I was like starting. We were down probably like 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and we ended up coming back. I think I threw like 3 TD passes and ran in the game-winning TD pass. So that was a pretty fun experience for me.
It was in between his senior year of high school and his freshman year of college here at WVU that Logan Rout officially decided to trade in his football for basketball and play for the Mountaineers. Fast forward to a year later, and the decision had clearly paid off, with Logan being awarded a scholarship after playing his first season as a walk-on.
I always just thought about it's going to happen eventually, just keep working, it's going to happen eventually, just put your head down and work, so I kept doing that, and it's paying off a little bit.
Even though he didn't truly make the decision to play college basketball until his senior year of high school, it was a dream he's always had.
Yeah, I had a couple emails for football, like lower level schools. I had a couple scouts that wanted to come watch me pitch my senior year, but I had already wanted to come here and play basketball, so I just told him no. I was already invested into something else.
His investment has not only paid off for him, but the Mountaineers too. Logan told me that in a twist of fate, he scored the 1,000th point of his high school career against now teammate Chase Harler. It's a continuing trend as Rout has already racked up more points this season than he did in the entire 2016-17 campaign. The Mountain State native is certainly one for Mountaineer fans to keep an eye on. Our final story concerns those beyond Mountaineer Nation, indeed anyone with a soft spot for all things wild and wonderful. True to its lyrics, Country Roads has at last come home. Sports reporter Elizabeth Haynes explains. Elizabeth?
The West Virginia Tourism Office announced that it has obtained the rights to use John Denver's Take Me Home Country Roads in marketing efforts. This comes after a legacy of almost half a century as WVU's theme song. I went out to see what this song really means to the people of West Virginia. West Virginia recently bought the rights to use the song Country Roads and announced it at the Governor's Conference on Tourism. Officials say that the state's tourism has been on a decline for the past 4 years, and the move to use the song is one of the several steps to reverse that trend.
It has meaning. It promotes a sense of warmth and belonging when, with anything that's that familiar, and it's positive. There's nothing negative. So whenever you can find something that is that positive, no matter how you spin it, it's usually pretty much a win-win.
This song is rooted in tradition for the past 46 years. In 1971, John Denver released the song, and it's now become the theme song for West Virginia University. The song is played after every home win, and fans are encouraged to stay in the stands and join in singing.
It's just a good feeling being there with everyone and feeling the same way after a win and everyone knowing the words and singing along. It's a really important tradition around here.
When you can see the players and the crowd and everyone from old to young singing their hearts out, it's a unified feeling that we are together no matter what we come up against, and we will triumph no matter what.
The song has been an unofficial anthem since its release and recently became one of the state songs in 2014. The song represents everything that people love about the wild and wonderful West Virginia. The Tourism Office expects to use Take Me Home Country Roads as a centerpiece of a major new ad campaign to be unveiled next year.
Country Roads was adopted by the Mountaineers in 1972. Only a year after its release, John Denver changed some of the words to Appalachian Mountains, Monongahela River, a way of thanking locals for the warm reception his song received.
What an uplifting story, Elizabeth. It seems every day as a Mountaineer is better than the last.
Yes, it is, Patrick. And every time I hear that song, I get goosebumps. Well, that's going to do it for our special edition of WVU News, Inside Appalachia, A Story of Hope. You can visit us online on our website.
You can also watch our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Patrick Clark.
And I'm Kendall Lewis. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.